Welcome to Royals at the Ranch, episode 18 for Thursday, October 28th, 2021. We're taking a break from our regularly scheduled programming to celebrate Halloween or El Dia de los Muertos or whatever fall festival that you normally celebrate during this spooky time of the year. We're going to introduce you to the first glimpse of our dark ones. Yes, that's right, our cadre of dark royals here at Royals at the Ranch. And we're going to give you a ghost story. Well, not exactly a ghost story, but I found some really fun southwestern folklore that revolved around a snake, and I'm going to tell you that story in honor of Halloween and fall. And then you're going to get to see a few glimpses of royals in your homes. And next week, join us again for another episode of Royals at the Ranch, where we rejoin our regularly scheduled programming with a fulcrum update. In the folklore of Mexico and the southwestern United States, La Corúa is a large snake that protects the water source that it guards. The death of La Corúa means that the source of the water goes dry. Thanks for tuning in this week, and since Halloween is coming up at the end of the week, I thought I would share a story from southwestern folklore. And yes, even though we don't have Python Regis here in the Southwest, our Royals at the Ranch do live in Colorado, so I thought I would share the following story. This is from the Pima County, Arizona official Sonoran Desert Conservation Plan website. In the Sonoran borderlands, most ancient places of habitation are located near water. During times of drought, many streams shrink back to their spring-fed sources, and others disappear completely. Some Sonorans believe that the life of a spring depends upon La Corúa, a snake guardian. The Corúa appears to be a thick-bodied snake, fearsome in appearance but non-venomous. Some say it has a cross between its eyes and long fangs or even tusks, which it uses to maintain the subterranean passages of the spring. La Corúa spends much of its time in the water or below ground, but one may see it sunning itself on rocks next to a spring. Tradition has it that if you kill La Corúa, the spring will dry up. Legend has it that this is what happened at Tanque Verde, and that it's happened at other places as well. Thanks for listening. Again, this is copyright 2021 from the Pima County, Arizona website. And if you want more information about La Corúa, a benevolent snake, I suggest that you look up Jim Griffith because he's done some writings about this. This is Pavlova's third target training session, and the first session where I've shown her just the target without it being paired with food. You see that she responds to it immediately by moving in its direction and tongue flicking. And so I don't waste any time showing her the reinforcement after she gives me that substantial step. Pavlova's first target training session was on October 9th, and we did 2 repetitions, 1 fuzzy mouse each. And then her second target training session was on October 16th, where we just did 1 repetition of 1 small mouse. I wasn't sure what she would do this time because both of those sessions I offered her frozen thawed mice. Now, she had been eating live rat pups at her breeders, but this is my first time offering her a frozen thawed rat. But as you'll see here in a minute, she didn't waste any time snatching it, so I was really pleased about that. This is only Kenobi's second target training session ever, and the first target training session, I just paired the target directly with food. This time, even though it's only his second session, I thought I would present the target first just to see what would happen. And you have to watch very, very closely, but he does slightly orient towards the target as soon as he sees it. He turns his head slightly in that direction, and so I immediately present the reinforcement for him because that was really great. And also, this is his first rat that he's eaten with me. He had a mouse during his last target training session, and he's eating frozen thawed here, but was eating live at his breeders, and he hasn't had any problem changing over for me. Now, Soji is 6 years old, and she has only been here a little over a month. This is her second target training session in her whole life, and I decided that since I paired the target with food during her first target training session, I would present the target to her first and just see what happens. I put it right in front of her face, and she was already looking in that direction, so that didn't really tell me anything. So I put it off to the side to see if she would orient towards it, and she just kept staring at me. So that told me that I needed to pair the target with food a few more times. Now notice that I also have an activity station set up in front of her enclosure. I did not expect her to come out onto it, but there's nothing wrong with starting to get her used to seeing these things.